Very special episode today.
Ladies and gentlemen, and first to fifth time listeners, we're joined today by...
You may recognize him from the pictures behind us every day.
You may recognize him as one of the letters of the acronym.
What acronym? I don't remember that.
That's exactly right, yes. Brendan.
Hello.
He's our brother.
Yeah, this is our brother, Brendan. You're a brother.
I am.
Brendan is 19. He is in college. He is...
You're like a prospect.
Yes, he's...
19,
a lot of potential.
6 foot something, 160 pounds of pure muscle.
Wow, thank you.
Proficient swimmer.
Well, yeah.
We went to the beach this weekend, got frickin' fried as hell in regards to
Some
burn.
of us got
You
more
did,
burn
right?
than
You-
others.
we were
All
fine.
of us got
Don't
frickin'
throw
fried.
we out.
We were
like
fine.
that.
All of
You
us
didn't
sort
wear
of got
sunscreen.
lit on fire.
Yeah, I got tan.
Yeah.
The UV was running out about an 11. That's about on the higher end of what I can deal with before combustion.
Was it 11?
It did get up to 11. It
Wow.
looked like a 10, but it got up to an 11. So
Is
You just
negative
felt it.
UV a thing?
negative UV. That's right. It was -3 right before it was 11. It was stripping the color right
wow.
out of
That's
us.
why,
Wow.
yeah.
It was yeah.
It's crazy that they do that.
Once it gets past a certain temperature, a lot of people think it increases as it gets hotter, but once you get past 100 degrees, it actually flips to the other end of the spectrum. You get into the negatives, and it goes up exponentially. Isn't that right, Brendan?
That's right. I made that system. So.
Brendan is attending the university at Buffalo, not the University of Buffalo.
Maybe the only university that
How do you know that? No one knows that.
that you're
No,
attending.
the at.
You're not supposed to know that.
I don't know how to
That's-
tell people where I'm
It's
going.
the only university that has its own preposition to my knowledge.
Brendan, can you think of any other ones that have a preposition?
But aren't they all? Isn't it of a preposition?
Its own preposition, though.
And you transferred from,
Penn State.
and walk us through why you transferred.
What the hell? I transferred because it was not good. I don't know.
You transferred because it was not the move.
It was not the move. Yeah, it was
Okay.
L moves. It was L runs.
And would you encourage... Now, if you had to say 3 good things about the state of Pennsylvania at large after having lived there for, 9 months? This
easy.
shouldn't be hard.
You could make a baby in that time.
Yeah. I did not.
Oh.
I'm gonna say the abundance of Amish people,
Oh.
the mountains, and
You didn't say anything good about the mountains. You just said the
well, they're
mountains. Okay.
and the University of Pittsburgh.
And when you needed a quiet study space time, would you go to the library or would you go up into the mountains?
I don't believe in that. Why? I don't believe in that at all. I go to the study room in my dorm.
You wouldn't go up into the mountains?
Do you not believe when people go to the library, you don't buy that?
I just think it's a little. I think you guys have talked about this before, right? I think it's.
I would love to touch on it again. I think it's important to hammer this home.
We've already covered
I think
this.
it's really weird to go that far to study. There are so many spaces you can go that are.
Well, how
close.
far was it for you?
It was like a 20-minute walk.
And
to
then
the library.
Is that why you transferred to University of
That's
Buffalo?
why I tried, because I looked up the library distance. It's
It was
much more reasonable.
much
so
quicker.
That's yeah.
Nobody hammers home a library like Aiden hammers home a library post-grad.
Sure, I go for the movies. I get the
Oh, the
DVDs
actual
there because
library.
they have DVD commentaries and you can listen to.
And
movie
nobody else is
directors.
taking out the DVDs. I mean, those things, you can get virtually any of them because
It's true.
all your streamers, right?
I'll be
You're not
watching entire catalogs of streaming services that I pay monthly fees for in DVD form.
I'll come into the room. I'll see Aiden's watching just tutorials, just how-to stuff.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
watch like old workout videos. I just watch them.
You don't even know.
I just sit there and watch them. I do the commentary.
The commentary. Oh,
Wow.
I didn't realize they had the extent of director's commentaries.
You
It was
never
on
seen the
virtually any form of
Tybo
media.
commentary, the DVD commentary?
For what?
Tybo.
Who's Tybo?
It's that
I don't
guy that
know
goes,
him.
"Boo."
How do you know him? Is he from school?
exhales sharply. Okay, you're doing a mom thing.
Is he?
aren't
I
you?
don't know him. Is he one of your friends? How long have you known him?
What's his last name?
That's a good question. I don't know if Tybo is his name or the type of workout. That's actually really good. Or maybe it's like a martial arts type thing.
Brendan is a big workout guy. Brendan, do you
Yeah.
want to work?
Ryan, you would
Brendan-
not be a good host of anything.
This is all.
Brendan, do you want to run us through what your lifting schedule would look like?
You're just doing like logistics.
I
You're
mean,
talking
sure.
about going to the library and like working out and
Yeah, I
stuff.
feel like-
That's a full day to me.
Oh.
I guess that is my life.
Mm.
Yeah, I work out. I do Aiden does. I like Aiden. He just does a
Thank
million
you.
push-ups in a
Yeah.
day, and gets ridiculously cut from that. So that's really annoying. But I go to actual gym.
And what do you do at the actual
Wow,
gym?
wait, look at our difference in tan level. We
Yeah.
did not come from the same family.
Zoom in on that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Zoom tan.
Punch in on
That's
that.
crazy. I said.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you want to know my split?
I would like to know your split.
Okay.
Number 1.
Chest try, back by, shoulders. Gotta have just a shoulder day. Hot
That's all in
take.
one day. All
No.
of those things are in one day, and then you take
That was
5
3
rest days.
and then we do legs. We actually do a leg day, and then we rest for a while for a long nap.
And I hear you saying we.
Well, yeah, I have people I work out with,
Who do you work out with?
mostly Billy Shipman.
Oh wow, name dropping full
Yeah.
names.
Is
Is
that fine?
is it a ragtag group that you work out with?
Of no good. Keep going.
Isn't that a saying or something?
Oh, I don't know.
It's not a group. If you work out with you don't work out with more than one other person. I think it looks ridiculous if you work out with 3 people. Never do that.
Oh.
Brendan works out without headphones, which is one of the most
You
insane
do?
things
Yeah.
I've ever
What?
heard.
I don't
Why?
believe that.
That's crazy.
Music is for listening, not for working out.
Music is for listening. What are you doing when you're working out and it's in your ears?
Well, you're not.
Newsflash,
Hey,
buddy.
you're
Listening
focused
to
on
other
working
people.
out. It's
Wow, okay.
disrespectful to the music.
Brendan over here thinks that I'm watching my music when I'm working out.
Yeah. What do you do when it's a music video? You just listen to it. You don't even look.
Walking circles around you right now. I'm gonna.
What do you do at a concert? What do you do at a concert? Do you turn your back and say, "I'm not watching. I'm just listening"?
Never turn your back on a concert.
Oh, true. Brendan, do you remember growing up? Every year, you and I used to pretend that we were in the North Pole, and we'd alternate who was Santa and who
Yes.
was an elf.
We had a very strict rotation, but those were the only 2 roles, right?
It was Santa and elf, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was either that or we would have been husband and wife up there, probably.
We also kept it secret from the family.
Yes,
people did not know about
that's
it.
true.
But then we would like slowly decorate the basement, and Mom would
we
like
were
catch on.
aware.
I don't think.
I
was
don't think
a
anyone
buddy to
ever
do.
found out.
Yeah, that was fun. There was to
Yeah.
make like a sled too out of like the chairs.
Yes.
I got into it.
That was not the only. You guys also used to put on puppet shows.
Man,
I
what
remember that.
happened? I mean, we are so boring
We
now.
did that. We played Spies.
Yep.
There wasn't really much to that.
That
Just
one
go
was
on the
just-
playground.
Yeah.
When we would go to restaurants, we would all get lemonade, and Brendan would get water, and we would tell him it was lemonade,
That's
and he didn't know
true.
the difference, and he'd be
Yeah.
really excited.
When did you first catch on to that?
I don't know if I ever did that. That's pretty ridiculous though.
Mhm.
That's pretty mean. For
It's-
1 year for Easter, I got a banana,
That's correct.
That
you
was
only
a
got a
great
banana.
gift.
and
Great
I was
gift.
so happy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I mean, as a baby, you don't really know the difference. You're just getting an object. If you got a PlayStation 5, that's less useful than a banana.
Can't
to a-
eat that. You probably wanted to
Toddler.
eat that.
That's true. I wonder if I ate the
I
banana.
think
if
you were
kept
really
it.
excited about it.
I was. Yeah. That's all I wanted.
That's smart that our family started solidifying our affiliation with bananas at a young age,
Yeah.
because we all eat a lot of bananas. So
That's true.
That's
obviously-
Well,
true. If it was
I mean,
like
it's
chips, I would've been
ingrained in
screwed.
our family.
That's right. Yes,
It's in our DNA. BNA. We have BNA.
banana nucleic acid.
Yeah, banana ribonucleic.
Brendan took an oceanography class in
God, why
college.
are you
Brendan,
doing
can
this
you
to
tell
me?
us one interesting
No.
thing you learned in oceanography class?
I really wish I could.
And what are you learning at school today these days?
No, I want to hammer home this point that I was trying to make earlier.
All right, to circle
a
back.
tide is a giant wave.
Right.
It has the same characteristics of a wave.
So
It's
what
just
is a
huge
tide?
version.
Coming out
pod.
strong. Let's
So I'm very proud of that one. I think that's cool.
now elaborate.
Right. So a wave is a disturbance,
Yeah,
and then has a period and a frequency, and we've already talked about that. And it moves from one, and then a tide is the same thing. You just think of a wave as like a short, because there's like ripple waves, there's big waves, and then the tide's like a giant wave.
what causes a wave?
A disturbance. That's
Define a disturbance. What is a disturbance?
Yeah.
I could go all day.
Yeah. What did you do in college?
I was a television, radio, and film major, so I would be my roommates in college. I had a neuroscience and math roommate. I had it was an engineering roommate, and so they would come home and their homework would be, I would look at it and it would be absolutely terrifying. They'd be on FaceTime with their friends trying to figure out. It would be like one of those things where they just have like one problem
Oh,
on
and that's
the page.
the week's worth of homework.
Yeah, so like it's like if you solve this, then you pass. It's not even good. Versus I would literally just be like watching Seinfeld in the kitchen, being like, oh yeah, your homework. Right,
That sucks that you would take over the kitchen to watch Seinfeld.
Well, I would get my blow-up projector,
Yeah.
and I'd put it where the table would be. I'd remove the table,
and
I
you would
put it
ask
there.
them to be quiet, please.
I would politely ask them to be quiet, and then I
Yeah.
would pull out my boombox speaker and put it on my shoulder, connect
Yeah.
Bluetooth through there, listening to the audio through that.
I've
Yeah.
never watched Seinfeld. Is Seinfeld funny?
You've
Serious
never watched
question.
Seinfeld.
Is it worth
You've
watching?
never seen
You
episodes.
should watch
I
it while
watched
you
most
work
of Curb
out.
Enthusiasm. I love
Oh,
it, obviously.
Very interesting to do
They-
in that order.
Yeah, well, they reference it a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's
Probably the show that references Seinfeld the most, besides Seinfeld.
Why do they keep referencing Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Yeah, Seinfeld's good. If you like Curb, you'll like Seinfeld. It's the same. It's just like that, but in a more scripted format. Jerry Seinfeld's in it, obviously.
I think when I was younger, I thought Larry David was Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
But now you know
That's all.
better. But now you know better.
I will not make that mistake.
Okay, good. Brendan took one of his second plane travel. Brendan's plane travel experiences so far have been going overseas to London and then across country to L.A.
Yeah, ripping the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, we got to get you on some more short distance flights. I want you going from Syracuse to Rochester. I want you going from, New York to
LA to
Brooklyn.
Vegas. Hey, do you remember the very short-lived sitcom LA to Vegas?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
What was it like? How much percent cotton?
Yes, I
Great
love your
quote
shirt.
from that.
How much percent cotton? Artem said. Yeah, that was awesome. Completely forgotten about it. It only ran like 5 episodes, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, did that thing cook.
That thing took off and landed.
Oh wow! It was. They should have known. The whole thing was it's a short flight from LA to Vegas. Of course, it's gonna be a short flight for the show.
Brendan, if you had to get one ear pierced,
And I've thought about this a lot.
what would you get pierced?
I would.
And would it be yours?
Yeah, no, would not be mine. That's
Okay.
Right, one ear.
I'd probably do your right ear.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Would you ever get a tattoo?
No, I've thought about this in extension, and although I like tattoos, I think they typically look good. I've seen well, that's not true. I've seen a couple tattoos where you go, that was a choice. But I think I would struggle with the location. And what I would do is I would get the tattoo, I would like it in the moment, and then I would get home and I go, oh no, because I should have gone a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, and I would not like the design very much. And as you know, tattoos are permanent, so I would have to probably just lop off that limb.
Aren't they not permanent now?
What?
Yeah.
That would be a major
There's
shift.
this new thing where you can it's like you get like a sticker of Spider-Man. You put it on, lasts 6 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's great.
temporary tattoos. That could definitely come back. I would like to bring that back
Yeah?
as a thing.
As an
That'd be
adult,
cool if that was like socially acceptable.
adult
Just, like,
temporary tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't understand the physics of a temporary tattoo. I'll tell you that much. That's about as close to magic as you can get as a.
Oh,
you know,
sure.
You just put
Yeah.
water on. You're just gonna hold it to my arm, put water on
Yeah.
it, and it's gonna adhere to
I
my
guess
arm.
that's a good point.
You know
Really
what
think
to
about
me
it.
is about as close as magic as you can get? Necromancing.
What is that?
I think it's bringing people back from the dead.
That's as close to magic, but you wouldn't.
Right? I don't
call it that?
understand the physics
CPR.
of that.
Brendan is CPR certified. That's
am.
right. Brendan is a
Very proud of
lifeguard.
it.
He's
That's
the
right.
manager at the. We were all
Very
lifeguards
good
at a
job.
community pool. Brendan, what are 5 changes you would like to see this year at the pool?
Water ridiculously hot. Hurts to get in.
Tell me that
Yeah.
temperature. What temperature are we looking
We
at?
keep it at 80.
Water temperature is one of those things where people say like, oh, the lake is 69 degrees, and I'm like, well, that's fine, that's
Oh.
nothing, and then you jump in freezing to death.
Yeah.
I think they should
Yeah, I
have
don't
a different
I don't
scale.
have a gauge.
Yeah. It should
Ours
be
is
for
hot.
every 1 degree, you get 1 second.
Okay, wait. So
What? In the
if it's
water?
80 degrees, you get 80 seconds in the water.
Yes, that's what it should be.
Okay.
That's what the thing should
What
be.
happens at the end of the?
You have to get out.
Oh, that's
Right?
not
Because
bad.
if it's 1 degree, you get 1 second. And then because you be freezing, guys.
that's not horrible.
Can you even be
Thank
in
you.
the water for 1 second?
If it was
You really do
1,000
need-
degrees, you get 1,000 seconds.
That's not horrible.
I think we're onto something here.
Well, if you get into the negatives, that is where it gets a little bit complicated.
What would that be representing, right?
I think because then you'd have to have not spent time in it. You'd actually have to have almost donated your time to the water if it's
Then
negative.
we'll do we'll do Celsius.
Celsius, because
we're gonna do Celsius.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Celsius. Is
Yeah,
that okay,
thank
Brendan?
you. Thank you. We're gonna do Celsius. Thank you.
All right. I'd love to get some European sports chants going.
I
an
never understand what
American-
they're saying.
Oh, well, they're British. That's a big part of the issue. Is they're British.
Are they saying like it feels like Latin or something, but they're just like doing normal things.
It feels like Latin.
It feels like I'm very familiar with Latin.
Quo
Oh, really? I don't know. Yeah.
et septum.
Yeah, I guess so.
Septum? They
Did
say
you speak
septum.
Latin?
Certe.
Yeah, what does that mean?
What do you think it means based on context?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Good
how you
job.
learn a
Now
language.
you can
They're
speak
doing
Latin
too
too.
much.
We all took different languages in school. That's one of the rarities of this
That's so
family.
true. We
Wow.
represent 3 different languages right now, including English. It's 4. I'm sorry, quattro.
Everybody say top 3 fruits.
3.
Love this conversation.
Number 3.
Top 3 fruits.
I will
All
start.
of them.
In no order.
Okay.
Strawberry, peach, and banana.
Oh, we have all those right now.
Strawberry, the seeds get stuck in your teeth, which is an
That's
issue
so
for
ridiculous.
me.
That's not true.
Something
That's
I've started doing is bringing floss around. You can do that, and no one can stop you from doing that. You can
really
bring.
do that?
I do that. I brought floss to the
sticks.
beach.
I use floss sticks.
Well, that's probably a more portable version. But for example, I was eating an apple. I knew that there would be an issue. I knew that I would get some skin
Actually,
stuck in my teeth.
And that could have
I
ruined your
said
whole day.
I would absolutely. No, all joking aside, that would obliterate my day if I
Yeah.
had something stuck in my teeth the whole day.
Fighting that.
To be honest, that it gives me something to do. It makes my day when I have something stuck in my teeth. It gives me something to focus
so
on,
weird.
a task to complete. I love it.
Because you're playing with
Oh,
it.
all
You're,
day
you're
I'm
telling
going,
everybody else, look at this. Look what
I'm
I
so
got.
productive.
I got
Yeah.
something in my teeth.
I get people in there. I say, give it a shot. Give it a go.
That's right. You
They
set
put
up
their
set
time
up
in. They
shop.
try to get it out.
Vomit.
Yeah.
Adult lemonade stand.
Okay, so everyone's naked.
They can be.
They can be because
Are
it's
the
an
Are you
adult,
saying
yeah.
the people who are paying or the customers?
Wait, what's the difference?
I'm going to rephrase that. The customers or the employees.
Okay, that's a much better way to rephrase that.
Is that
I'm
just a
saying
store?
the customers, the employees have to be. They have to be constantly washing their hands. They have to be happy. They have to be clothed.
Lemonade stand is so played out, right? Oh, I'm a little kid. I'm going to sell you lemonade. No.
More impressive. Little kid trying to sell me a car. All right, let's do it. Let me hear what you have to say. Give me a go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be, the kid's got to obviously. He's got to be good at selling the cars. He's got to have an actual car to
Yes,
sell.
it's
Maybe you
hard.
sell your parents' car.
Yep, Brendan.
I would never do that.
You never did. He was always the good
Why
son.
did our HOA not let us make lemonade stands? Is that why?
I had a lemonade stand that got shut down.
There was like a very strict rule. You
That's
could
right.
not
Wow.
have a
Maybe it
lemonade
was a
stand.
safety thing because lemonade stands are a little sus.
Sure, but I feel like you're incurring risk when you when you buy lemonade from a child. You're not expecting them to have.
Yeah, you wouldn't come back and be like, "Hey."
I noticed you didn't wash your hands. It's like
Yeah.
just don't drink it. It's 25 cents. You're not expecting it to be good. It's a surprise if it is good.
The kid is losing money on this whole venture.
It used to be
anyway.
25 cents.
It used to be
they're
25
charging.
cents.
God,
Now it's
now
40.
it's
What? No,
$5.
now I got to take out a payment plan to buy my
Oh,
lemonade.
Take check only.
Yeah.
Check.
I'll pay with
ridiculous.
Klarna.
Yeah, what, right? You buy lemonade, kid turns around the card swiper.
Oh, please. It's just going to ask you a few questions. F off. No.
Would you like to give us a phone number?
Well, number
no, I
one.
wouldn't like to give you a phone number. You're
Like to
7.
round up to me.
Would you like to round up today? In
That's
your
good.
head?
If we ever open a store, it should have a series of questions such as donations, but all of them are just go back to us.
Store. Would you
That's
like to
good.
round up?
Would you
like
like
to
to
pay more?
There are 4 price options for this item that you can pay.
Charity, but it's for profit.
Oh.
10%
We give
of our
most the
proceeds
money
go to
away.
the charity. We are proud to announce.
Wait, you are the charity.
Yeah, no, 90% go to me.
Oh.
then we funnel 10%.
This is one of those for-profit charities.
And then the charity, so the 10% that goes to the charity, that's still for profit. So that's not even all going to the victims and survivors.
How do you know it's that?
Of what?
How do I know it's that? I run
victims
this. What are you
and
talking about?
charities.
You're talking smack about my own charity to my face. How do you know it's that? Coming to my press conference to heckle? I didn't think that was necessary.
You get fined for that.
All right, let's pretend that we're all in a press conference and there's no moderator, so we're really confused about what to do.
Okay, I'll just go first. I'd like to
We
say
didn't play well.
we didn't play well.
That's fine, though, because we just started this band.
And I'd like to say that
Why do we have to do this after every concert? This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
who wants this? Why? That's actually... Okay.
That's in
Every
Bohemian Rhapsody, I was
musician
wondering that.
in, like, the 60s and 70s was doing
Yes,
press
that's what I'm
like
saying.
athletic-style press
they actually
conferences,
did.
according to these biopics.
And it was like dramatic, and they would get like pressed.
Yeah.
Well, I think this was when before social media and stuff. This was the thing, like where this was kind of one of their only opportunities
Yeah,
to
that's interesting.
speak to the public. So
Oh,
like
yeah, that's true.
like Conan had an introductory press conference when he got late night,
Yeah.
where he was
Wow.
like, "Meet Conan."
And then everyone was, like, really mad.
Yeah,
Like, are you serious? You're, like, just... All right, cool.
It
This
is really
a
funny to
He's
get-
gonna be funny. He's not gonna be a not funny person.
getting mad at the qualifications of a late night host. Like
Yeah.
he's a professional
People that
clown.
want Conan.
Like
He's
he's
gonna be Letterman. Okay, what?
it's an undefined. There have been like
Of
five.
course, they're
an
going. They're gonna
all-time-
keep hiring new people every single decade.
I can't believe they got a new guy.
Yeah.
What are you telling? He hasn't had late night experience.
God,
Look
this
at his
job
resume.
market,
He's not built for this.
You need 5 years of experience, but how do you get that experience?
Exactly.
Right? It's yeah,
We're going to a theme park.
an unspecified theme park that may or may not have a name, and we've already been there before.
Yeah.
No, we have not.
Well, some of us have.
Some of
not.
us have, some of us
So
haven't.
we have all been to the other one in the other location.
Yeah. Well,
The bigger one
could be anywhere.
could be anywhere that doesn't.
Brendan said something interesting yesterday, and that was talking about being.
Let him say it. Let him say it.
I'll first of all let you say it, and then I'll let if you can't pick up the slack, I'll take it.
Yeah, and if you say the wrong thing, then you're out of the pod.
I have no idea what I
Brendan
said.
said something interesting yesterday. So he was talking about roller coasters, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm not scared of roller coasters." And obviously, correct me if I'm misquoting you. I'm not
You already
scared of roller coasters because there's no risk of death. Sure, that's what they're flirting with. That's what they're saying. That's why everyone is scared. That sort of human element of that. But obviously, there is no actual fear of death. You don't
Right.
think you're going to die.
Some no, some
And then Brendan went on to say that he wishes that maybe 1 in every 5 of the coasters went off the rails and would just
You actually
smash
said
into a
the second
wall.
part?
think about the thrill that would add.
Yeah, talk about a thrill ride. There's a thrill.
Thrill
Sending
ride.
your family
Well,
off
that's
not
true,
knowing
though.
if they're coming
When I
back.
was young, I used to be terrified of roller coasters, and like now thinking back on it, it's like no one has ever died in the history of 99% of roller coasters.
That's not
Every
true.
single
People
one of
die
them
on roller
going on. All right.
You know what's
so-
great? The people that like I want to do this when I'm older. If I don't get a career, my second thing wanted to be to run a roller like man a machine and then do like the right before they press go, they say like, yeah, I gotta check.
When they
like,
play
wait,
games
something's
with
wrong
you?
with it. You're like, that is awesome. How is that even allowed?
What I would do is I would really play it up. Usually it's a subtle like,
Yeah.
oh, is that so-" No, I would go, oh no.
Yeah, and then
You gotta-
stop it and bring them back and let
Yeah.
them take them.
Start
off
screaming
the
on the
ride.
walkie.
Yeah, first I would say, does anyone here have a heart problem? Does anyone have a heart issue? And then whoever does, I would go, oh, I would beckon to the person over there. I don't think their harness is on. And then I would go over with like a screwdriver and a power drill, and I would start working on it. And I would
Yeah.
say, it's not coming off.
Yep.
It's not working. and then the countdown would start. I
And
go,
this
no,
is
no,
all,
no,
yeah.
Can you imagine the fear?
it's got to stop. And then it goes. They come back down. That's the thrill of a lifetime.
What happens if they have a heart attack?
Well, that's the thrill for everyone
Oh,
else
that
on
was
the
the
ride.
heart issue.
That's
Okay.
that's
I
the
was
thrill
wondering
for
why.
everyone
See,
else
it's
on the
all
ride.
about immersion.
That's right. Everyone else is wondering, is this person
Theme
going to have a heart attack on the ride?
Right. Right. Let's get it.
That would be your contribution as the guy who gets on the mic before roller
Let's say
coasters.
it. All right, I just have one thing to say, everyone, before we get off.
Let's send it.
Let's get it, and then I get them.
That feels realistic. Like that.
Thank
Someone
you.
would do that.
Thank you.
Someone would do that.
Do you guys put your hands up on roller coasters?
Sometimes.
That's a good question.
I've never had the urge to. I know it's sort of the thing that you do, but I've never felt like this is the right thing to do.
It actually does make it like a little more like, I guess, scary a little bit.
Yeah, because
You're, like,
no,
releasing.
oh, that's interesting.
Like genuinely, it's like
I've
Aiden
been
does
on
not
roller
agree with
coasters
that.
before. I for sure have
Is there
been
anything
on
more
one.
badass than posing for the roller coaster picture?
Yeah.
But then you don't buy it because it's like $50.
They should do a dating app that's just roller coaster pictures.
It's a good idea.
Wait, so like the data, like it's the people in the park that you're
Roller
currently
couples.
with, or it's just the pictures from the roller
It's
coaster?
like Tinder or Hinge, but the only pictures you can use are ones that have been taken of you on a roller coaster. That's the only
Do
aspect.
people go like out to like theme parks to make the account? 'Cause you
No,
don't
it's
have those lined
entirely.
up.
It's exactly like Hinge and Tinder. Everything is the exact same, except you can only use AI-generated pictures of you photoshopped onto very famous actors in roller coasters that don't exist, and they also deep fake your voice, and you have to say a different height. But other than that, it's the exact same as Hinge or Tinder, and you don't ever get to go on a real in-person date with anyone.
It's sort of like Tinder or Hinge for the common folk.
Exactly. It's the layman's Hinge or Tinder. It's for getting men laid.
This could be an interesting move if you put instead of a Hinge
I'm not open to notes. Oh, sorry. No, what was that?
if you put like a Where's Waldo-esque picture as your Tinder or Hinge
that's
photo.
another interesting dating app.
Yeah.
Dating app where you like only pictures of group photos, upwards of 40 plus people
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, you got to pick who it is. Then
Yeah.
there's just a list of clues.
That's fun. Where's Waldo dating
Or
app?
it's an
That's
app.
good. I like that.
Thank you. It's an app that you open and it's like a Snapchat map sort of vibe where it's just
Yeah.
all these different people and then you zoom in and you see each individual person. It's sort of map style. It's
And
not
it's only
swipe style.
Bitmojis.
Yes, and it's their real locations.
And it's their real locations.
It's their real live
and
locations.
how to access their
How
whatever
to get to
building
them
they're
quickly without being detected
in. And why? Why would you?
immediately.
And Brendan, what's your dating app?
You can say
no
Tinder
pictures, one poem.
Oh,
for one
okay.
poem.
One poem.
What's how long of a poem? Can the poem be "My name is Ryan Micho. Here is my Instagram. Look me up."
Oh no, it has to be a 4-word poem.
Minimum 10,000
4-word poem.
lines.
Yeah,
Oh,
one swear word.
okay.
And there has to be a swear word
Yeah.
mixed in.
So it's just kind of
Huh.
yeah. What do you think?
I don't like this one. I'm sorry.
Dating app for soon-to-be divorced people.
Yes. Oh, okay. That's
But
good.
you're
Get
still
ahead of the
with-
curve.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are, and you have to get endorsed by your current spouse.
Oh, that's good. Or letter of recommend. That's good. Or just people who are gonna break up, like dating
Yeah.
up for soon to be. Yeah. It's called gray area. It's called overlap.
That's good.
I like the letter of recommendation.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And it must be a poem.
I've recently discovered my go-to drink for meetings, which is really exciting because I would usually, whenever we go to coffee shops, I would get a green tea because that was the only thing that I knew how to order because I didn't know any of the other stuff. And when they would make it, it really made me, because I would pay $5 and they would just boil water and then they give you the tea bag. They don't even make it. And I was going, well, what are we doing here? This is getting
Could've
a
just
little
done that
ridiculous.
yourself.
All the water.
It's a little ridiculous. So I would just drink the boiling water all in one gulp right in front of the person I'm having the meeting with.
Sort of set
Yeah,
the tone.
yeah.
of the
Yeah,
meeting.
set the tone of the meeting, and then I would slam it back down on the table and say, I'm
And
going
then
to grab
you'd order
another.
another one and hand it to them and say, go.
I wouldn't say anything. It was implied. I would
Oh,
slide it
right,
across
right,
the table and
yeah.
look at them. I would not speak until it was drinking.
Right.
So I started getting a chai latte,
But
but there was trouble.
there was trouble.
Because I ordered it, and they said, it's not going to be boiling hot. I said, okay, well, if it's not going to be boiling hot, I'd like to be freezing cold. I want one end of the spectrum.
That's true, though. With your drinks, you don't want room temperature
Yeah, like
ever.
I'm moderate
You
drink. That's
only
not a
want really, really, really hot or really, really, really cold.
Brady drinks coffee now.
I drink coffee, black coffee, unless I'm ordering.
You drink black coffee?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's so good. Once you get it, once everyone knows, once you start with black coffee, like you don't go back. 'Cause it just feels. So
Yeah,
good.
I gotta be honest. I feel like you think that black coffee is only like the type of thing that like your one friend who would drink black coffee drinks black coffee, but like I feel like all of my male friends are drinking black coffee now.
It's the wave. It's really good.
I don't know if this is true, but I think it's like relatively healthy for
It
you
is,
compared
yeah.
to because you
is.
don't have all the additives, all the sugars.
Everything like our aunt has been saying for years is true.
It's all true.
How come sometimes you have to go into a Target to get to a Starbucks?
You never have to go through a Starbucks to get into a Target, a
interesting.
huge Starbucks to
Right.
get into a little Target in the corner. How about
I've
that?
seen other. Yeah, there's other.
It's like the inverse.
Yeah. The inverse, right?
Wait, so it's a massive Starbucks with
Hey,
the.
wait, while we're here,
A
can I just
Sephora
grab
with a
something?
Kohl's in the middle.
Yes, right. That's good. That's good. A giant. Come on, we can do this.
A giant Camaro with flaming eagle wings
Yep. Keep going.
inside of a beast.
Yes.
And it's really hot.
Oh,
And it runs on diesel.
this is the coolest day ever. Oh yes. Okay, I don't even need to go to the theme park. I love Diesel. I wish I could run on it myself.
You have always loved Diesel.
I've always loved Diesel.
I
'cause
remember
I
like-
used to call you Diesel.
Every birthday you would ask, just give me a pile of diesel.
Yeah. I guess Shaq's nickname being Diesel like makes sense just generally, right? It's like
You sound
would
like
think
it was
that.
between you and Shaq to get the nickname.
No, I think
could live with
I
it.
think Shaq deserves it. Yeah, it's fine.
Just thinking about it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
obviously maybe not his whole life.
A lot of
Maybe-
people like
At some point, we can
still call me Diesel, and I think it makes sense too. I think it makes sense for both of us equally.
I think it's really funny when people try to create nicknames for themselves. I think that's a
Is
really
that a real thing? I don't
Yeah.
want to hang out with that person.
Oh no, I mean I've seen it done before. It never sticks. Only sticks ironically. It's the only way that it can.
But then it worked.
Well, it's in a bad way though. It's used then derogatorily. They want it to be cool. They want it to be,
Yeah.
hey sludge. But then it's like,
I don't know what
it's
they,
like, oh,
vision they had for sludge.
sludge fest.
Yeah, usually, no.
We almost named you Sludge Fest. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
It was between you were gonna be, if you were a girl, you were gonna be Molly, and if you were a boy, you were gonna be Sludge Fest.
Thank God. Thank God.
What am I? 'Cause now I'm a little confused.
Well, there was a last minute typo, and the nurse did get a hold of your papers, and she actually picked the name.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll do that when there's like an elite nurse on hand.
The,
no
nur-
one
the
really
nurse
wants-
can veto the name if it's a
Yeah.
stupid name.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize
Well,
that.
only if it's a nurse with a lot of power, because sometimes
Yes.
you'll get a nurse that's
Right.
not as much of an alpha, but this nurse was a beast.
Yeah.
I
That's why
remember.
people are doing water births now. They want to avoid the nurse that picks people's names.
Water,
water birth?
does that mean the baby's born
Is that a real thing?
underwater?
There's water involved.
Definition of
If you're gonna be
oropharming.
like a superhero, though, that's how you would do it.
Definition of oropharming from birth, right? Emerging from water. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We're doing that?
Yeah.
That's
It's a bit
pretty
much.
Ugh. Come on, guys. Let's do a land birth, like a normal person.
Land birth, water birth, fire birth.
Oh, first ever fire birth.
Fire birth.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't come out okay.
Emerging
Oh, no. But it was we got some great picks.
It's good to know, though. We know that didn't work. Then the only one left would be a wind birth.
Wind birth. How about Eastern Conference Finals birth?
Wait, what about this?
B-E-R-T-H.
What if every time you
Your name was almost birth. Did you know that? We went with Brendan because birth. We didn't want people shortening it. So we went with Brendan instead of birth.
what if every time you had a medical ailment, you went on a plane, and then so you would like wait till the middle of the flight and go, "Is there a doctor?"
Oh,
And
okay.
then
I
you
thought
could
you were
just get
saying
your
like
checkup.
you just find yourself on a plane. You're like, I must go on flight, and you're just like, every
Oh,
time-
that's your medical ailment.
Yeah, right.
As you seek out flights.
Can I ask people if anyone can heal my airplane issue? Like, is that?
Oh yeah.
I would like if anybody can diagnose.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time I go on, I've been on 2 plane rides now, like 4, and every time that every time the pilot we're beginning our descent into when they start the descent, I start like my ears start like ringing, and then when I land, I can't hear. I lose my hearing, and it feels like I'm underwater for 2 days, and then it doesn't go away for 2 days, and it's like painful and horrible.
I think it's nerves.
I think it's almost in your head. What if Brenny's only been going on flights where like they descend like
Yeah.
like and he
Said
like
awful pilots.
yeah, because you've never been on other flights, so you don't know anything better. You're just like, wow, that was a tough landing.
Have there been any deaths on your planes?
No, I just didn't think those were related because there was always a doctor.
Right.
You
there's
always-
you
yeah.
just thought it was negligence of the doctor on board. Yeah.
They always get revived mid-flight. It's
Is
always
there a
big to-do.
lifeguard on board? Someone is
Samaritan
drowning in
law.
the
My
toilet.
son is drowning.
Ah, be on the lookout for that. You're going to be in charge when that happens.
You're gonna be large and in charge when the babies start drowning in the airplane bathroom. You know that's when things are getting airport plane bathroom birth.
Oh, there's a club for that. There's some sort of club for that.
Born on an airplane, that feels like you would get some super like human powers.
Oh,
What
yeah.
superhuman powers?
You can.
Really good on planes.
Yeah. Your ears
It's sort
never
of
cross.
arbitrary.
You never had
Yeah.
any plane issues.
Really good
funny.
direction skills.
Yeah, you can do like a 40-minute layover, no problem.
Great patience. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Elite
good.
patience.
Oh.
That'd be a good superpower. I can wait
Patience?
for a while.
That's nothing. Oh yeah. Okay.
Watch this.
Practical superpowers.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it always, I can burn stuff with my eye? How about I can organize well?
I can sleep through the night and wake up.
I'm a mom. I'm a mother. How about that for a superpower? I'm a mother. It's the hardest job in the world. Why are you laughing?
Because Superman's looking across the table going, I'm a father. And I know a thing or two about that. Yeah, no, Superman, after just having caught a train.
Oh, you think you're a superhero? How about I'm a mother? It's the hardest job in the world.
Yeah, Spider-Man walks in after also just having caught. They're always catching trains. You ever notice
It's
that?
always a train.
It's always a
Never-
train.
So it's
Yeah.
a big vehicle of transportation.
I think that's sort of how you earn your stripes as a superhero is you stop a train.
Of course, because if you stop a car, it's 1 to 3 people in there. That's nothing. If you
Yeah,
stop a
that's
train,
true.
that's 100 commuters coming back from their job,
Yeah.
and you stopped them.
I wonder if they run drills for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Superhero drills.
Superhero drills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you think the first superhero in real life will like emerge?
2032.
Okay, so they're in like high school right now.
They what year is it? 2025. Will they be like junior high?
Junior, because we're saying when they graduate they become a superhero. Okay. Yeah.
Why do you think a superhero would emerge?
Well, because maybe there's a supervillain the year earlier, Brendan, and things happen out of necessity.
Oh,
not-
so it comes like it's a call and response. There is not a
Yeah.
superhero created until the villain
There
is put into
only
circulation.
light with darkness.
Oh, he's doing Bane if he was like sort of more like proper.
Poetic.
Yeah.
Yes. You think the darkness is your ally?
He's not as scary anymore.
I was raised in the dark. Please.
Oh, please get a load of this guy.
The dark's not that bad.
Yeah. No, the dark's fine.
Nah,
You're
dark's
fine.
fine. Dark's
You're
fine.
fine. You're fine.
Dark's fine.
Get up.
Everybody's scared of the dark. I'm scared of the light.
Why?
I'm scared of the daytime. Guy who's scared of the.
That's probably a thing.
Oh, you're
That's
right.
definitely a phobia.
Yeah.
That's a.
But imagine living with that guy.
That's got to be a tough.
Oh
Do you
my
guys have
god.
claustrophobia? You know what's interesting? I think I have a mild version of both claustrophobia and the fear of open spaces. So that sucks.
Wow,
I gotta
what is
be
your
in
fear of
mid-space.
open
Wait,
spaces?
I don't get that.
Imagine being in the middle of the ocean.
That's so different though. That's
That's-
drowning.
Yeah, well, see, if you were in the middle of a field,
Yeah, if you were in the middle of the blank Minecraft field in real, if you're in the middle of a field for miles and you have nothing around you, isn't that
is that a fear
terrifying?
of? I feel like that's not a
Doesn't
fear
really
of
give it much.
openness.
Why are
though.
you-
That's a,
what?
That's a scarcity. That's like
It's fear
that's
of
a,
death.
That's a human
Oh my
evolutionary
Like everybody's a little
thing.
afraid of heights because you shouldn't be comfortable.
Oh my god! You,
And on the top of a
yes,
building.
that's why these phobias exist, guys. Yeah, okay, it's not a fear of heights; it's a fear of. Yeah, that's what a fear of heights means. Yes, a fear of open spaces is a fear of whatever.
All right,
that
let's go
word
through all
you
these
said,
fears and
scarcity is not
rationalize
a
them.
word.
Okay, fear of dark. What's that for?
Fear
How's that?
of spiders.
No, you can't. That's a different.
Oh, sorry.
You
I
can't-
we didn't address the
We're
first
not
one.
pairing
It
them.
could be. It could be afraid of spiders because they're in the dark.
That's true.
You
So
could be afraid of spiders.
It's sort of yeah. The fear of the dark is actually
Fear, but like claustrophobia. You're afraid that you're gonna like suffocate or something and die.
all right.
Knock it
Fear
out.
of some people have like a fear of holes. Have you heard of that one? That's like a I don't know. That's a phobia. What's that one? What's that? The rationalization of that?
Probably sex related.
Fear of sex.
Fear of sex.
Fear of water. Fear of swim. Oh, that's drowning. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fear of God essentials. Right? Isn't that like a brand?
that is a brand.
Yeah.
That's a brand. Yeah.
There's no way like we just accept so many of those to be true, but that could be people just lying. You have no
What?
way of knowing.
Wait, what?
What?
Phobia, like there's like you ever seen a list of phobias?
You think people
Oh.
are just lying about
How do
it?
we know?
Well, I mean,
They
there's probably
do
someone
have
who brought
ways
it up.
to-
Yeah.
I guess like people could be lying if they
Should
wanted
we should we
to.
pioneer some new phobias?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fear of being stuck to the ceiling because gravity reverses.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because everything that you want is on the ground level,
Right.
and you're up here.
Fear of gravity one day reversing. Yeah. And I think would be even more afraid is if you're not stuck to the ceiling, is if you're outside during that time,
Oh,
during that
absolutely.
switch.
That's something I thought about as a child because I feel like, in like superhero media, that sort of thing, sometimes gravity would reverse or, people would float. And you want to be inside when that happens.
You got to be inside for that, yeah. Fear.
That's a good point.
Fear of bad posture.
Yeah, Aiden should have
Bad
that.
news for you.
Yeah, Aiden should probably have that fear.
You need that.
You need that fear.
I need
Yeah,
that
buddy.
fear, right, guys?
Been
'Cause I
on him
have
for
fine
this
posture.
recently.
Yeah, he has horrible posture. He slouches.
It's bad for you. Obviously.
Stupid.
Fear of. How about just fear of whenever you sit down, like the chair breaking?
That's
But
good.
you're just really
Like
bringing
out
it
of
up like all the
embarrassment?
time.
Or
No, not like just I don't know.
You ever had a chair break under you in a public place?
That's got to be awful. No, it's not that bad. It's not your fault.
I mean, sure, but it's a lot of everybody looks is. I mean, that's happened in elementary school. I don't know if it happened to me, but one of those metal back chairs that snapped off.
terrible.
I think it was just a structurally defunct chair, but it's like
Someone's
it was
head got
unfortunate.
stuck in one of those, and the nurse, Miss Duger, had to come and get. I remember there was like a whole thing.
They grease up the head. How'd they do it?
yeah,
I
what?
don't remember.
How did they get their head stuck in it?
I think
That's
that's
crazy.
Yeah, kids always get their heads stuck in stuff and can't get it out. 'cause
That's also interesting that they brought in the nurse for that.
That was like first.
I've
they
seen
should've
this
been, like,
before. Well, I'm gonna vaccinate him.
Like I don't know.
It's just like a fire department
custodian.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
You ever see those workout clips where they just punch the people in the stomach?
Yeah, that's
Is it-
ridiculous.
Is that building muscle or is that just
I think
damn
it's
it?
for
Like,
your abs.
does it work?
I think it's a little ridiculous.
You know.
It works just as much as any other
Other what?
exercise. Brendan, do you ever work out your abs?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
I don't. I pretty much never do.
It's really hard to do because
Yeah.
you just don't want to do it. You just did a full workout.
It's
and you have to
also
do
like
your abs.
the aesthetic return just doesn't feel quite.
You gotta take your shirt off more.
Abs are made in the kitchen.
That's true. I've heard this.
It's real. You don't have to do really ab workouts. You just
Why
You
is
do
that?
ab
Why
workouts
is that
in the
the
kitchen?
case?
That's so weird.
90% more effective. If you do it.
Just a lot
on
more
a hard
space.
surface like
Yeah.
the kitchen
Better, yeah, logistically.
floor. Abs belong in the kitchen. That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you guys bite your fingernails?
yeah. I bite my fingernails and I'm proud of it, but
That's-
I've chipped my front teeth from
Makes me
doing it
so
a lot.
mad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your teeth are getting injured by your
I'm
fingernails.
chipping my-
How
that's-
Hey, you have
hard
really
are your fingernails?
impressive fingernails.
That's the quantity. No, well, I think it's more so just reps. It's not based on the quality of my fingernail. I think it's
Putting
just
work
based
over
on
the
Wearing
I've,
it down,
I've been
like,
doing it
yeah.
for so long.
Yeah.
It's like a Grand Canyon type.
A lot of these people come and say, "Oh, I bite my
Do you
fingernails."
know how many germs when you're biting your fingernail? That's like the number one germ
And
spot.
do you know that builds your immune system?
Right?
It makes you strong and tough.
Has Ryan ever gotten deathly ill from biting his fingernails?
Name one time I've ever gotten sick.
Ever.
I could do that.
I'll give you-
I could.
And
I'll
this
give
guy's
you
blowing
5
his
minutes.
nose. This guy's been blowing his nose all up.
My
Well, that's-
God.
You need some germs. People always, you got to sanitize before you eat. No, it's fine to eat some. You're designed to eat some germs.
You gotta eat some. You're
And
gonna.
some of them taste good.
You get
Some of the germs are good.
And also, people have
like
to
germs on the
die.
menu.
Not everyone can be alive.
Sometimes I'll go to, when I'm getting a sandwich made at a shop, I'll say, take the gloves off. Take the gloves off.
I said, no, we're not
I'll
going to
say
do that.
one of you has to die. There could be 8 employees working here. If this is how slow this line is moving, one of you is going to die right now. And then I make eye contact with them.
That you were looking down until that.
Yeah. And then I make eye contact and I do my order. I say beans. Roast it. Season it. I've never been to any of these. Bop it. No. No.
No.
Pork. Turkey. Chicken.
More.
More beans. Start over. Next in line.
Who's next?
Come back to me.
And then I turn to the person behind them and say, "What do you want?" And then give me your order.
You start doing everybody's order.
I get to the.
It's easier this way.
I get to the cashier.
Pass
I say,
it down.
He's paying for me today. It's a pass it backwards day.
Yeah. You pass it to the cashier. Say, "You want to spot me?"
Yeah.
You wanna cover
got
this?
this one? I get the next one. That's good. Chipotle. Chipotle. Brendan, what's one thing you learned in your oceanography class that you want to share with us?
Okay. We already did that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're so smart. You took oceanography class? Oh, okay. Name all of the oceans.
I wonder if I could do that. Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Antarctic.
I think it's
This was the first thing we did in our oceanography class.
Really? Day one? That's good. They did start from
He's
sort of
like,
the
how
ground
many
up.
of you know your oceans?
Do they start with like what is water?
Yes, actually.
Really?
That's exactly how you would
Wow,
think it would go.
they
Is how
went
it went.
macro.
Yeah, but we actually started talking about the universe. That was most interesting part of class. The universe, all the
and
way.
zoomed
yeah,
in.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, technically every class could start with that.
Yeah,
It would-
right.
yeah.
I think that would help give you more perspective. Chocolate candy or sweet candy? Or banana?
Oh,
Ice cream.
We all know what Brendan's. Oh,
Ice
I
cream.
thought you were going banana.
You know,
want
ice cream, every time I have ice cream, I feel like it is not as good as I anticipated, and I always just feel worse after eating it.
This guy has no idea.
Okay.
I need ice cream to fall asleep. I think I have ice cream every single night.
And
Seriously?
same
Yes.
with me. I mean, I wouldn't say every
It's
night,
my
but
one vice.
a lot of. Oh well. Wow. All right. Well, I didn't know we were going that far. I have a lot of vices. I do a lot of bad but one of them is ice cream. I have ice cream in addition. I let myself go a little bit loose at night in addition to doing a lot
Chain
of other bad
smoking
stuff.
as you eat a bowl
Yeah.
of ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this ice cream is so bad for
Well,
me.
I
like-
think we're the same way though. We will pause the movie to go get
Yeah.
ice cream.
Well, yeah,
That's something
that's
we do.
true. It'll be like 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh, I could go to sleep. Or I could watch 1 to 3 episodes of a TV show and get ice
Exactly.
cream because I'm not going to be able to do that during the day for some reason.
Yeah, I'm going to start clocking how often you guys get ice cream, because when I think about it, you do tend to get
No,
ice
you're
cream
asleep,
at night.
You're not clocking
And
it.
sort of
Well, think
Yeah.
about how
We
I
do it in the
I've asked for
shadows.
ice cream like 4 times a year. It's huge
Every
for
day
me.
you've asked for
I
ice
need
cream.
ice cream.
Aiden
Well,
sleeps-
thank God we have an abundance of cookie dough bites with ice cream in them.
Aiden's sleep schedule is baffling, because I'll come home. There was one time I came home at 2 in the morning
Oh, that
on
I
a
was.
weekday, and I was like, there's no way. He was on the couch and very confused about why I was.
This was an anomaly. I was playing 2K online with Skylar, and after we were done, I just, accidentally fell asleep on the
This
couch.
guy was on the East Coast. That was like 5 in the morning for him.
Yeah, he was ridiculously up late. It was crazy. It was like 4 or 5 a.m. for him, and we were playing 2K. Yeah. But then I accidentally fell asleep, and 20 minutes later, the door opened, and you came in at 2 a.m. And I was asleep, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. You would have guessed. It was my first time ever meeting your friend.
Oh,
you had
who?
Brian.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, you fell
yeah.
asleep on the couch?
I had for 20 minutes from probably 1:40 a.m. to 2 a.m. I was asleep on the couch, which I usually don't fall asleep on the couch. That's not a thing I do often. But I woke up to somebody coming into the house at 2 a.m.
That's terrifying.
I was so confused, and Ryan had just picked up his friend from the airport, who I've never met before. So I was like, "Oh, what the."
Also, yeah, I will say I was at a daytime energy level because I had slept in anticipation
Yes,
of getting up at
yes.
3 in the morning. You were probably on the downswing.
I was
Also,
mid REM cycle.
Brian was coming in to take your couch spot. 'cause
Yeah,
he
that was
sleeping on the
his. I was
couch.
in
Yeah.
his bed. It was like It was like the bears coming and seeing Goldilocks in their house.
You're in his bed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was awful.
I'd actually be really mad if
Bad
somebody was-
first impression. I had to be so on the rest of the weekend he was here. I had to be so good, make such a good impression.
Yeah, you really just interacted very. I mean, I understand why, but you were really out of it.
I didn't know what was going on. I had no ability to.
And did you
function.
try to do an introduction, a hot nice to meet
After
you?
that, he came up to me and I was still into it. I was like, "Who are you? What's going on?" And he came up and said, "Hi, I'm Brian."
Because usually Aiden's kind of right into bits and stuff.
Yeah.
He was dead
I was just
serious.
like,
and, like,
oh my god,
Yeah.
how are you? No, imagine you fall asleep on your couch at 2 a.m. and then some random guy walks in and says, "Hi, I'm Ryan," and you have to then say hello.
That's awful.
There was this time in college where it was on a Saturday, we had all gone out, and the fire alarm went off at 3:30 in the morning. So I woke up drunk, out to a fire alarm, and we had to file out middle of winter.
Uh-huh.
No idea. That was the most discombobulated I've ever been
Yeah,
in
that's
my
awful.
life.
Yeah.
I lived right next to this big tower in college, and they would always, it was 25 floors or something, and they would always have fire drills. once a week they'd have a fire drill. And they had a fire drill on Halloween night where it was like 0 degrees out and it was 2 a.m. So I was in my dorm and just out the window I saw like people dressed fully in costume, like wearing no clothes, just standing outside for 30 minutes. Yeah, so that happened.
Brendan, fire drill story.
Well, I'm just very confused because we had a fire drills at Penn State, but they did at a reasonable out. They really did fire drills to you guys like 2, 3 in the morning.
It must have not been drills.
Isn't
Must
that just
have
a
been
fire?
people
Did you
What?
address the
it
building
probably,
on fire?
most likely
Is that-
wasn't a drill at 2 a.m.
That's
on
a-
Halloween.
That's
a
not
great
like
point.
they don't
Yeah.
do fire drills.
Yeah,
at
that's
2.
true.
But it was
That would be
Halloween
horrible.
night.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, we're all outside. What did we learn?
Yeah, It can
Right?
happen at any time. Yes. I truly think that they desensitized us to the fire alarm with the
Yeah,
sheer amount of drills.
It had the adverse effect where people would stay in the building when they heard the fire alarm
Yeah,
because it
right.
would happen so frequently. Just training people to, when you hear the fire alarm, hide in your room.
Fire drills are stupid.
They've really...
You know what's great? In elementary school, our principal would come on and say the time that we got out of the fire
Yes,
drill, and we'd have to try
yes.
to like beat it every time. That was
Yeah.
kind of fun.
They should have kept that going into college. That would have incentivized me to get
Yeah,
out of the
right.
building.
great
Oh,
incentive.
make it a game. Yeah.
That's like just high stakes timing.
And then
Like when you would...
do you
That
think
was so
during a real fire they would have told us the time?
Unfortunately, not everyone got out, but those who did get out in 4
So I'm not
minutes.
really sure.
They
Do we
give the
keep
stat
clock
of who
running
got
or-
out.
Yeah.
He has sort of a gray area.
Is it until the bodies come out? When do we stop this thing? Because if so, we beat it. We beat our time. Good running, everyone. A lot of kids just ran away, and you were quiet. Everyone had to be quiet. Just reiterating the rules.
Just fill in space here,
And it
principal.
was fun. Anyone doing
It was
anything
hot.
fun this weekend?
It was hot, right? The fire was hot.
Our elementary school principal loved using big words.
Yeah,
Like
she's
what?
the best.
Do you remember any of the massive words she would use?
No, there's one thing she'd always say.
Would she explain
Please
them?
leave in a respectful,
Orderly
orderly,
and- yeah.
orderly manners. I don't know.
I mean, orderly, that's big for a...
It was
yeah.
ridiculous. It was so
Well, no,
big.
but back in the day, that's a big...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she used to say extraordinary a lot, but that's not that extraordinary.
And she always, you know what I remember? She always used to call tissues Kleenexes. Can I have a Kleenex?
Sponsored.
So yeah, she went
NIL
right to the
deal.
brand.
Why was she? Why was your principal talking about Kleenexes?
Brendan,
It was
pass me a
hot.
tissue.
Because she would come. Do you remember? The principal at elementary school comes in to read
Yes,
like a story, and that's like a big.
Yeah, it's a celebrity. It's a big get.
Yeah, that's like awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Oh my
yeah.
god, we booked a principal.
Yeah. There was this one prize that was like you got to have lunch with the principal if you won the prize.
That's how annoying that would be like in high school.
Oh my god. Oh my
You
god.
get to have lunch with your boss, yeah.
Yeah.
The
I just love to pick your brain. Could we get coffee?
having not only the principal come in to read, but parents coming in. People, it's a normal day, and then bam, who's walking in the door to read? Who do we got to read today? That was the equivalent of a
Yes.
sitcom cameo.
Right, someone's reading.
Yeah.
I think it was the thing too on birthdays. Your parents would come in to read.
Yeah.
That was the thing at one
And
point.
they'd usually bring cupcakes or something.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, I miss those ice creams with the wooden spoon. I miss that.
Yeah, it definitely adds to it.
Ice cream social.
Yes.
What is that? What
That's
the
the,
hell
only
is that?
time that I heard.
I've never heard a social just as a noun.
Penn State
Social.
Fawn, we had water socials. Reminds to drink.
Water social.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bare minimum.
Yeah,
That's
well,
survival stuff.
That's not.
Yeah.
That's just a hang. That's just
No,
like.
that's just called water social.
so it would
Come
be like
on.
we
Dad,
have
just remember to
water. Come get free
You're
water.
standing for like 48 hours, so it's like they forget to hydrate, and then water social. Yeah, we hand out waters.
Oh, I
Is
thought
this
it was
during
like.
fawn?
Thon. I'm talking about
Oh,
Thon.
okay.
I thought it was an event. Like
Yeah.
come
No,
come to
no,
the
no.
water
Right, yeah, I thought it was
social.
No,
like-
this is during Thon. I mean, we
Fun
didn't just
freshman
have,
meetup event. A water
Are
social.
you guys going to the water thing? Like?
Is it bring your own or? No. Wow. Ice cream social. What? Yeah. So what? What it makes it social?
Funny.
You talk.
Yeah, I think you would just go and hang. It was an ice cream hang.
Those were yeah. Okay. That's
There's
fun.
a lot of fun things at elementary school. You do like donations, and whoever it was like a pizza party for whoever donated the most. Remember that the class?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why we get away from that type of thing.
Right. We should do that in our in now
Let's start doing
as
that.
self-employed.
Yeah,
Comedians.
company wide. Aiden, I'll give you a pizza party if you edit
you
the video
donate
for tomorrow.
this month.
If you rub my back.
Yeah, it's all not job related stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, pizza party if you come into the boss.
That's what I would do if I got like a lifetime supply of pizza or something like that. I would just never pay for anything again. I would say I will give you 6 million pizzas for this car.
Yeah, just think about the the raw ingredients, what you can flip that for.
Oh
This is-
yeah. You can. I will give you 18 tons of pepperoni for this house, and my best cow.
yeah, they give you yeah. Okay, so the pizza
That's
lifetime
has
includes.
nothing to do with it. No,
oh,
yeah, I also am throwing in the cow,
You got a lifetime
which I'm
supply of
gonna
cows.
be really sad to part ways with. To
Yeah,
be
it's your
honest.
best cow.
My best.
Why would you offer your
cow.
best cow?
I will
feel
give
like
you my
it's-
second best
a
cow.
middle of the line cow.
Oh yeah, but I won't tell them that.
How hard is it? Think about this all the time. Like, how stupid do you feel being in a mascot costume and just doing like mascot emotes?
Well, what I think is funny is thinking about their face underneath the thing because they're going,
They
they're going
gotta be
this, but
dead.
they got
They're
a straight
dead
face
there,
on
yeah.
underneath.
Yeah.
That. They're not. There's no joy
Well,
being.
they're
emoted.
focused. They're trying to do the right move.
Yeah.
They always have to do push-ups.
Yeah, and high fives.
Too much joy,
Yeah.
right? I want a depressed mascot. I want a mascot that refuses photos.
Yep.
Oh, an angry mascot like
Angry
shoves
yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
That's
aggressor. It
fun.
goes on the offensive.
It's part of the theme. It's like, oh, we're adult, we're rude here. It's like that one Disney restaurant where they're rude to you.
Yeah,
Oh, the mascot's just like a drunk, like this whole
Yes,
thing, and just like
yes.
drunk and angry.
It's realistic. It's akin to life.
it's not all rainbows and sunshine.
No, yeah, that's good.
All right, this has been Volley for Serve.
We've been
with
volleying with
our
Brendan.
first. Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, we've been volleying with.
Brendan.
And you could argue that we are getting closer to Jason Tatum's entire family, guest wise.
Day one, we established that
Via-
our dream guest was Jason Tatum's entire family.
Our worst guest would
When-
probably be
is
Jason
he in it?
Tatum.
Him too, or just
No,
his
worst-
family?
Our worst
He
guest
would
would be
probably
Jason
be-
Tatum
yeah.
himself. So we're getting
And
closer.
if you just heard that and you said, "What the hell did they just say?"
Then you must be a first-time
You gotta
listener.
watch our first episode of the
Real
reboot
smart.
of this pod on the Crab YouTube or whatever it's called, Mitchell Brothers YouTube. Yeah, and you'll find out what we're talking about. But anyways, Brendan, given the fact
Thank
that you
you.
are family, we are venturing towards Jason Tatum's family.
Now, Brendan, can you thank the fifth-time listeners?
Thank you to the fifth-time listeners.
That's because that's the time
You
where you really
guys.
lock in. After
Yeah.
sixth, seventh time listening is you starting to go downhill. You're starting to do other activities while you listen. But the fifth time
Yeah.
listeners, it's like, oh,
That
I
is
love
peak
this part.
listening. You're noticing things you've never noticed before.
Brendan, hit us with one last oceanography fact before we sign off.
Cool.
And do you believe all this crap?
Everyone knows about El Nino.
Yes.
Let's respect La Nina. Also a thing.
What is that?
It's
The
the
other way?
opposite.
The
El
other
Nino
way.
is warm water this way. Don't quote me. And La Nina is cold water that way.
When you say that way and this way, is that east and west?
I'm doing it so that I don't have to specify. So
Right.
I'm not gonna get it right.
Right.
So
All right.
Okay.
thank you. Glad we're both in LA at the same
Nina.
time.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could make this happen.
And
Now wait,
thank
do
you.
it. Brendan, snap, and we're gonna make you disappear. Okay, ready?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Snap.
That's fun. Okay, hold on.
That was Brendan Micho on the pod. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Bye.
Yay.